Welcome back. Welcome back. You want to start it off?
Courtney Miller is here. She is the owner of New Fitness, and we have Loren Tepper, who is one of the participants in the Boone County Biggest Loser Challenge. It's week 4. What's going on week 4? What are your expectations, and how are they doing?
They are all doing amazing. We've all become so close as a group, and we actually we did Zumba Monday, and I didn't tell them ahead of time that we were doing Zumba. And when we got there, I said, "Okay, we're doing Zumba." Some of them are like, "Oh," and I thought, I didn't expect to do a whole hour. I thought maybe we'd do 30 minutes and then something else, just to let them get a feel for it. But the group just loved it so much because we were all having fun, and it didn't matter that they didn't know the steps. That some people went one way and some people went the other. We were laughing and singing and
Loren just loves to dance, don't you?
They were moving, yeah.
I had a great time. It was one of the funnest classes we had participated in.
Good.
But I tell you how quickly you pick it up. Yesterday she came over to my place, over to Independent Living, and did it with our clients. And I actually, because of just kind of remembering what we had done, the steps got a little bit easier, and I didn't look as uncoordinated as I had done the night before. But that's okay. But it was great. It was a lot of fun.
It was.
And so you did it with the clients, which is a great community type thing that you did.
It was amazing. It was fun.
So this week has, as we shared as a group on Monday, this past weekend was a tough week because it's the halfway point. You're really motivated week 1, week 2, week 3. You're still going, but you kind of hit that point where your start of your bad habits start to creep back into your mind. And this past weekend, Sunday, was really a bad day. It was rainy. My wife wasn't home and couldn't do a lot. So all I wanted to do was sit home and eat. And it wasn't that I was hungry. I just wanted to eat.
It's comforting to eat
and
sit there and graze all day. It is.
Well, they all came Monday morning because we were supposed to do the weigh-in Monday morning, and they all came dragging in, and you could just feel there was just something going on, and I put a few of them up on the scale, and it just hadn't moved, and I just immediately saw just like this immediate freak out, and I said, you know what? No one else is getting on the scale. We're not doing the weigh-in today. And we scratched the weigh-in, and I said, we'll do it on Wednesday. This isn't, something happened this weekend with the weather, and everyone was saying there was just something about being right in the middle of it, right in the middle of the 6 weeks. People are just really, I just don't want them to get to that wall. And they were almost at that wall, and I said, you know what? We're not going to do that. And so we didn't do the weigh-in on Monday, and we did it today, and the numbers were better, and the spirits were better, and sometimes that's just what you have to do.
And I think, like for me today, I've lost 11 pounds, since we started, and I feel really good. And Courtney and I were talking about after class today is, trying to alter some of my diet things to help change my metabolism, because there's a point where you can only do so much, and then it's not going to come off, and you don't want to hit the wall like you talk about. So you got to alter what we're doing. So I feel better. And last week I felt really good with the inches that I lost. Now this week I feel good with the 11 pounds I've lost in the 4 weeks. But truth be told, I feel a whole lot better than I have ever felt in a long time. I got up last night. We did the thing at my office. I got home, had dinner with my wife, and then we went for a walk. And I was like, "Oh, it's y'all, no problem. I'll just get up and go." A month ago, I would have said, "You go by yourself. I ain't interested." And it's not that I didn't want to go there. I just didn't have the energy to go do it. So those are the things that are changing.
Yeah. And that's also what helps to keep you motivated when you are able to see yourself transition and be able to do more. So
we're talking about transition. You're going in week 4. You're changing your exercise routine a little bit, right?
Yes, in week 4, what we are doing is the first 3 weeks they came at a set time 3 times a week, and this week now it's just Monday and Wednesday with me, and then the rest of the week they've got to find 1 to 2 more times to work out. And the cool thing about it is we use our MyZone technology, which is a belt that they wear outside the studio. So I know if they're not working out.
Oh.
And plus, if they're not in the studio and they're working out, I can look at the statistics of how they worked out in the hour, and I can say, okay, this worked for you, this didn't work for you, and we can tweak it. So when the time the program is over, they're going to know what works for them.
So you're weaning them, I guess?
Yeah, we're weaning them. But
they're not confined to, if they can't make a studio class, then they can work out outside and you can still see the results.
Exactly, and they do have, from today on, they have unlimited access to the studio, so they can come to all of our classes, and we've done a lot of different classes with them, so when they walk into a class, they know what to expect.
Right, because it's a little intimidating.
It is a little intimidating, and then they can also work out at home if being in a class environment isn't for you, which for some people it's not. So,
but already this morning, you know, which is people who don't really understand. Like on Wednesday today, you know, we had a class at 8:30. We were there working out, and then we come here and do the show. But when we got done with the 8:30 class this morning at 9:30, we were already talking about as a group, oh, who's coming to this class? Who's going to do that? Just to try to give some positive reinforcement to each other so that we could, you know, not walk into something, you know, unknown or scared, because that's how you felt, you know, 4 weeks ago when we started, because you didn't know each other. Now you're getting to know each other. Now you want to partner up and at least walk into somebody else's class.
Yeah, comforting factor.
Yeah.
Now, I think we've talked about this before, but when this is over, do you feel like you'll? I mean, and I think that's a fear of a lot of people. They in a program, it's a challenge, it's a fun thing, and they're wanting to see how much they can lose and how best shape they can get in. How do you see yourself 6 months from now, a year from now?
Well, I mean, obviously, you know, the 6 weeks is a motivation, but you have to transition it over the long period of time, and that's where I've got to figure out what's going to work for me, you know. And I've tried to alter some things that I do. The biggest thing for me that has been the biggest improvement is my diet, my intake. I mean, that really has been, you know, the changing of what I do. Even now for lunch, what I do, if I go to Subway, or do something differently. I'm changing what I'm getting instead of getting an Italian full of salami. You know, I'm getting a roast chicken or doing something different, and I don't need a full one. I can live on a half. It's okay. So those are the things that I need to change. What I'm doing, and I'll tell you this: I've not had pasta in 4 weeks, and I'm starting to have a little withdrawals. You know, but it's okay. I mean, we had bean burritos last night, but I bought the whole wheat and felt it really didn't taste any differently. My kids were like, "You got that? Why?"
It's just
it's a mind thing. It's a psychological thing, and I felt.
Yeah.
I didn't taste the difference. I mean,
I've been feeding mine whole wheat spaghetti, and the other day they cooked some themselves, and they're like, "What's wrong with this? What is the deal?" And I said, "You've been having that for months." Oh, I was like, "Hello."
We've got some video of last Friday. This was kind of a slower routine day, I think, and you weren't there.
I wasn't there.
Tell us who was there.
It was Michelle, who is one of my other instructors, who actually is in the process of getting certified to be a personal trainer.
Okay. Oh, good deal.
And so they are, looks to me like right here, like they're warming up. But what we're doing in this class is we're getting ready to introduce some kettlebell.
Well, Loren said thought he was a sumo wrestler.
There he is.
Good job, guys.
Oh, the burpee.
Burpee challenge.
Whoops.
Oh.
Shorts falling down.
Yeah, better view that one.
10 more seconds, you got it. Now, if you haven't quite got the balance to do that.
And you know, people say, "Oh, you can do that." Let me say this: you go out there and you try to do that for 45 seconds. I mean,
Well,
you're
especially,
hurting.
I mean, I know you're overweight.
Right.
I mean, it's obvious you're overweight. Somebody that's not overweight, strap on 80, 100 pounds to their body and try to do that. They'll be in worse shape than you.
And in this particular day, last Friday was a very tough workout. And I was telling you on Monday, my arms hurt. I mean, I went home and talked with my kids and talking about how, you know, we was doing curls with the kettlebells. And I said, they said, "Oh, well, that's only 15 pounds." I said, "Yeah, I do 15 pounds for 3 minutes." And then you tell me, not once, but twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, "You tell me if your arms don't hurt. I don't care if you're the biggest guy or the biggest bodybuilder, repetition, and continues to do it. I mean, my arms hurt. I was having a rough time holding a pencil Saturday when I'm trying to work out at the complex, but I did better at the complex this week.
How's your sleeping?
Good deal.
Sleeping been great. I've been sleeping
Bet it
really,
has been.
but really before I started, I didn't sleep all night. I mean, I got up a couple times a day.
Yep.
Just didn't feel. Now I have more energy. Even if I sit and watch a movie with my wife,
Here's the kettlebell.
I still feel
There we
better.
go.
And I'll tell you what, people, that hurts if you can't do that for 3 minutes. I mean,
Well, and not to mention you're supposed to use your legs, so they get a little workout
Ooh,
too.
look. Oh, sitting up against the wall. They love that.
yeah, that hurts too.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see that's Amy in the front. Her face, you can just tell.
She's
It
tough
is
too.
burning.
And last week we talked about Kim, but Amy is just as good as Kim, and the two of them, I mean, they really can push you and are doing a fantastic job. But everybody in that class is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I hate to single out anyone, but they're doing a great job. Everybody in there.
Well,
Like I
good.
said, we really have a common bond.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we're excited about it. I guess we'll follow you next week. Now, this Friday starts their own workout.
It starts their own workout. Yep. We're gonna
So
start the
you be
transition.
videoing?
I'll be
some
videoing
of-
Monday, I think.
Yeah.
Monday afternoon, we're going to be doing some things, and
Okay.
we're waiting for this week 6.
Week 6, May
You
4th,
bet.
Yep.
is when when all of
When the
the
grand finale of the Seville is,
Okay.
which will be great.
And it's a
I'm excited.
race because there's money on the line, right?
Exactly.
there is.
$1,000 from Crockett Properties.
Awesome.
Yeah. And
Awesome.
lots of other grand prizes for even the top 10 contestants. Everybody's getting a prize. So.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Now, you have somebody, a contestant who is from Crockett Properties, right?
Yep.
And I bet there's a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah, but he is doing amazing.
Is he?
Charles Stanley. He really is doing a good job. He's in the morning class and he pushes himself every day.
Wow, that's good.
Good.
Every
deal.
day. Yeah.
Can't
I
wait
want to
see you guys
mention
next
too that
week.
Courtney is the owner of New Fitness of Harrison and of Berryville, and she's made this her studio. I mean, is the place to be able to work out and do these things for this particular challenge, but also as a business. So you might check that out.
And I want to say this, you can, for all that, I've not met all her instructors, but the ones that we have met, it's not what you see on TV where there's a drill sergeant over you screaming in your face, wanting to just make it intimidating. They're here to help you, motivate you, support you, and try to change your lifestyle. But it's not in your face.
It's not an ugly deal.
And it's not in whether you're a beginner or you're an expert, you're going to feel welcome no matter what you're doing or wherever you're going. And that's the one thing that I've really appreciated who's ever come to teach the class, whether it was Courtney, Michelle, whatever, it didn't really matter. They all have done the same thing, and they've made you feel better while you're in there.
And
Okay.
the studio is really welcoming. I mean, it's a blacklight studio, so you're not walking into a bright room. And we have a welcoming committee, so we have our members who are on there to help the new people that come in and answer any questions. So anyone who walks in the door is going to have an instant relationship with someone.
Good, good.
Yeah.
Courtney?
Wonderful.
Loren, thanks so
We
much.
wish you another good
We'll
week, and
we'll
I
see
hope
you
to
next
see you
week.
Friday
We'll see you
morning.
next week.
Yes, Friday
All right.
morning.
Okay.
Up next, we'll be talking to Anita and Angelo, and they'll be talking about Africa and the Ozarks. Stick around. Stay with us.